Hello guys, so a slightly different Zwift racer this week. I've joined Restart Racing to do some of the Zwift Community League. Hopefully going to be doing the Premier League as well next season, as you can't change riders mid-season. But yeah, really looking forward to giving the Premier Zwift League a crack. But until then, I'm doing the Community League, and this was my first one in the Community League.
Fake news.
It's my second one in the Community League. Last week was a team time trial, but that's a bit less interesting, so I didn't record that one. This week was the volcano after party. I'm not sure what the circuit's called. We went up the volcano 3 times, and then it was a sprint finish in the middle of the volcano. So without wasting any more time, let's get right into the video. And the SIS gel flavour of the week this week is chicken nuggets, because Usain Bolt does it, it works for him, so the only logical conclusion from that is that chicken nuggets equals gold medal winning performances.
Stick to what I knew, chicken nuggets, I work with that.
He's clearly ahead at this point, and you started to think, is this Gatlin's day? And little by little the gap closed. He was tight in the shoulders, Usain Bolt, only in the last 3 or...
So, start of the race, 3, 2, 1, and as usual, I like to put in a nice little dig just to get to the front. If anything, it's because I didn't do a good enough warm-up, so just a little surge for, 10-15 seconds, and then you can sort of chill out while everyone catches you. I don't know why I do that. There's no good reason. It's just something I do, and it's a habit at this point. So heart rate up to a nice cruisy 170 in the first few seconds.
See you later.
A little breakaway. That's not really a break. Anyway, so coming up to the bottom of the climb, to quickly reiterate, there's a KOM points. We got the climb 3 times in the race, and each time there's points for first person across the line. But overall as a race, there's a set of points for who gets the fastest segment time from when the segment starts at the top of the climb. So a lot of the riders are trying to hang right at the back of the group. So, when they start the climb, they're right at the back, and then they can start going forward. So by the time they get to the front, if they finish with the group, they get a faster time. So that's what we're doing. There's a few of us at the back of the group, and we're sort of going a little bit too far because, I'm being a bit cheeky, they're being a bit cheeky. And I decide, you know what, for the bands, I'm just going to let a gap open up. See if they close it. If they do, they do. If they don't, they don't,
You naughty, naughty. You teasing me, you naughty, naughty.
just bluff it and see what happens. Just, if anything, for the bands, because, just to spice up these races, it's a bit of fun, really. So we ended up having a pretty big gap, to be fair, before the thing. Probably bigger than I'd initially anticipated. So even before we'd got to the segment start point, I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna need to go now, just to make sure I'm safe. So just started digging up to, like, what was it, 600 watts, 500 watts. So not too crazy, because obviously it's a 6-minute climb, and I don't want to really redline myself. And eventually made it back to the main group. As I made it to the group, it started getting really strung out. So the whole way up, I was like threading my way through. But luckily, I managed to keep it relatively steady the whole way up. So it wasn't too bad. So coming up towards the finish, I remember down the team saying there's 2 lava pools on the right, and then there's a rock, and then you want to be going sort of by the rock. And I sort of saw the rock, and I was like, okay, there's the rock, and then I just started going. I went way too early here. I put my feather. I did a little sprint. I didn't want to go too hard, because obviously I want to have a good amount left for the final sprint. But so I was sort of sub-maximal. I saw this guy coming up on me with the aero power up, and as soon as he came past, I was like, okay, I have to win this. So I switched into like a maximum sprint. And then just about edged him over the line, which I ended up actually spending a lot of energy there, like up to 196 BPM, which is really high for me. I don't think I've gone over 200 for over a year now, so I'm going to assume I've left that in my junior days. Just over the top, just trying to make sure I keep spinning the legs, because this part of the circuit, it's not actually downhill yet, it's 0%. I made the mistake before where I stopped pedaling and I got dropped really quickly, so that was really frustrating. And I was pretty dead there. So just kept spinning over the top, and just a little surge before the descent, just to get up to speed and give myself a bit of time to breathe before the rest of the group catches up again. So coming up the hill the second time out of 3, it was much more steady this time. I think everyone was pretty tired, so I decided to launch it once again with the feather.
English, mother, do you speak it?
I decided to launch it again with the feather power up. This time I didn't really take it as easy, just wanted to make sure I get there first over the top, and this time I had a bit of a bigger buffer, so it wasn't too bad. And once again, swept up some good points, and I know my teammates were behind, sweeping up some decent points too. That hurt though, and you just ask why you do these things to yourself.
Why are we still here? suffer. Every night, I can feel my leg and my arm, even my fingers. The body I've lost.
So, third time up the climb. Again, it's a lot more steady. I've got a teammate up the road, as you can see on the minimap there. He's a handful of seconds ahead. And yeah, so it's much more steady. And we're coming up here. This time, obviously, with the finish next time round on the flat banner. So I'm definitely not going to go anywhere near as maximal here.
I can't. Not again. I'm not strong enough.
Yeah, so I use my feather power up. I don't go anywhere near as hard as last time, like I said. And yeah, I end up getting pipped to third with one guy up the road. A different guy up the road by this point. So we were sort of worried if he was going to get brought back, but actually, with the big group on the descent, the blob as we call it, it's they get brought back pretty quickly. But you know the feels when you finish the climb with the group. So coming down the descent, pretty cruisy, pretty rapid indeed. And luckily I had the aero power. I had the feather power every time up the climb, and then on the final climb I got the aero power up, which was perfect for the finish. So I literally got 100% on the positive power up. So here, coming to the finish, 700 meters to go. There's a little rise here. Everyone's popping their feather power ups just to save a little bit of energy, because everyone's starting to start going into orange numbers here. So yeah, and I'm just trying to keep as calm as possible, not spike my power too much. And you know, in the last kilometer, like what's normally hard isn't that hard when it's just for a few seconds. So I'm just looking at the distance to go. That's pretty much all I'm looking at. And then I see these two guys come from behind with their aero power ups. So I pop mine and I time it, and I launch the sprint.
4, 3, 2, 1.
That was a pretty good sprint for me, especially considering the hill climbs we did, so I was fairly happy with that. Won by a couple seconds, which was nice as well. And I think we ended up with 3 guys in the top 9, or 3 guys in the top 7, which is really cool, and a great showing from the team overall, to be fair. And yeah, I think we won the day with points, so that was cool. Yeah, anyway, that's going to be the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed, and there's going to be more coming soon, and thanks for watching.